desire versus burning desire. That's what we're talking about today. The very distinct difference, hugely distinct difference between a desire and burning desire. So let's dive right in. Desire. What does desire mean? Desire is an emotion of wanting or hoping for a person, something, some outcome you want. But desire is just a hope or longing, a wish even, that's what you want to have, that thing, that person, that outcome, without actually taking any action yourself to achieve it. So it's having a desire with no action. It's having a desire where you don't take control. It's a hope that it will come your way, that you'll be lucky enough to have that thing you desire the most. It's inaction, one for a better word. It's where, as a desire, in his mindset, it's just inaction because it's a wish or a hope. So there's, in order to want to have something you desire, you've got to take action. Which leads me on to burning desire. So having the burning, that burning in terms of a word, leads to action, leads to a mindset that I want to not just hope for this desire, I'm going to take actionable steps to make that desire a reality. So the burning and the desire is not now hoping or longing for something. That desire still is the emotion. The burning is what forces us as mindset, as actions, to actually make that emotion a reality. So how do you do that? So how do you turn your burning desire into action? Well, we start off with knowledge. What knowledge do you have about what you want? Is your knowledge up to where you want it to be in order to make that a reality? So if you haven't, then you need to start planning on what you need to learn. So for an example, losing weight. Generically, I want to lose weight, and it's a desire, but you don't take any action because that's what desire is. But once it turns to burning desire, then that losing weight then in his mindset is, how can we lose weight? We look at his knowledge and we realise that we don't really have much. We eat the same food, we do the same non-exercise each day. So you've established that your knowledge is not up to where it needs to be in order to make that losing weight a desire. So then you look at what weight you want to lose, what size you want to be. You gain knowledge, you start learning. You start learning about nutrients, about food, about different exercises, about how to reframe the things we do every day. In terms of losing weight, cleaning up, being active at home. We reframe that into that's exercise. Then we're changing our mindset, which changes the emotion that we're actually exercising by the things we do every day. That's just a different point, a different perspective on that. But we're gaining knowledge. We're making inroads by taking action, by learning something new. Then we take his knowledge and we'll put it into a plan. That plan gets really specific. So it's a SMART plan. SMART, for those who don't understand, is it's specific, it's measurable, it's actionable, it's realistic, and it's in a time frame. So it's narrowing down that generic term of losing weight and getting specific about what weight you want to lose. It's you measuring yourself on what weight in these next few weeks I'm aiming to lose. You're taking action, but you're being realistic that I'm not going to say I'm going to lose a stone, or I'm going to lose 10 pounds. I'm going to, lose a few pounds. I'm going to use my plan and then action it in small steps each day. I'm going to have this for breakfast today, tomorrow, next week, next day, that week, that next week. I'm going to cut out this food. So, you're planning, but being specific in your planning. You're going to then look at what you've learned about exercising and you're going to action that into a plan on the exercises you can do. I've already talked about reframing the mind with just the mundane tasks we do every day. Cleaning the zone, walking around the office, walking up to the shop. That, in his mindset, if we change it, is exercise. It's amazing what that will do in terms of changing our emotions and changing the way we operate, the way we think. Once you've got your plan, then you start working your plan. And you realise that some things don't work, but some things do. So it's a matter of just keep changing the plan until you have the right plan, which leads you to your goal, your burning desire. And keep changing it and actioning upon it. And taking those small steps every day to reach your burning desire. It's having a continued feedback loop. So it's not the outcome which will be the accomplishment. It's what you become through the journey of achieving that accomplishment. Because you've already started the step of learning, you've already started the step of making a plan, and you've already then started the step of actioning on that plan. Then the experience of what you're doing actually feeds back into what works and what done, and you can change it and keep actioning it, keep learning, keep changing, keep actioning until you find what works for you, till you start seeing the results. But we're reframing the mind and we're changing ourselves through that process. By being actionable, we're being disciplined, we're working hard, we're getting uncomfortable, we're losing his minds at times. Might seem like a lot of work at first, because it is, because we're doing something new. And we'll always try to tell ourselves not to do it. But if you don't make these steps and have this routine, this plan in place, then next week, next month, next year, you'll still have the same desire without actually having a burning desire to want to achieve. Sorry about that. So there's distinct difference. And it's what we become through learning. I always think of learning and getting uncomfortable and learning something as like a muscle. We go to the gym to work with bicep. So we go every day and we pump that bicep and work it. And over time, that bicep gets big. That's the same with learning. We're learning a new muscle in his mind, in his emotions. And we've got to work on that muscle, and we've got to exercise that muscle and be intentional to work it in order for it to become stronger and bigger. Planning is patience. Some of you'll say, I haven't got no patience. Well, you haven't got no patience because you're not exercising that muscle, which is patience. The more you exercise it, the more patient you get, because there's no quick turnaround. Everything takes time, takes effort. But how committed, how disciplined, how motivated, how focused you are will lead you to the outcome you want, your burning desire, or won't. But the question I keep asking myself is, if I don't do now, today, then I'll still be the same next year and still then regretting that I didn't make the steps. This is, the platform I'm sharing with you now. This is uncomfortable, it's hard, I have to be focused, I have to be disciplined, I have to talk by myself in front of a camera. But I know that if I don't start making the steps and planning and actioning and, gaining the right knowledge and putting that into a plan and actioning, I won't ever get any better. And next year, I'll regret the fact that I never did it. I have to show patience that I know I will get good at whatever it is. I know I'll get it. I'll get that person. I'll get that something. I'll get that outcome because I'm taking control. I'm putting in the reps. I'm working and being motivated and focused to do it. And that's just what I want for you. So there's a big difference between desire and burning desire. Whether you choose to take that desire and turn it into burning desire by taking action, you know the difference. And you know why, as a desire, you don't do anything. But by turning it to a burning desire, that's when you will. That's my take. This is my life, my journey, my startup. This is me.